resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another Wednesday episode. Good chat here with my good bad English and myself. We're going to have a great chat. Today, we're going to talk about spring cleaning your art marketing, something that maybe you should think about as we approach the spring and we get ready for a great season. It would be a good idea to kind of clean things up. So that's what we're going to be doing. And Beth, how are you before we actually get started? How's it going?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this topic because I've been spring cleaning my house. So I guess it's time to spring clean my business too, right?
I was going to ask you about that. Have you started spring cleaning? Yeah, because I think it's the time right now. We just came from a vacation. I entered in the garage and like, oh, this is a mess. I think the first thing I'm going to start in the garage, throwing a lot of garbage out, reorganizing myself. And yeah, there's something about the spring cleaning process that allows you to see what you have, what you're still using, what is no longer good anymore, and that kind of thing. So I thought, well, maybe, when it comes to our marketing as well as artists, it's a good time to do some spring cleaning, like remove some things that maybe are just cluttered or that you haven't really taken the time to do because you've been busy all the rest of the year, and maybe kind of reorganizing yourself a bit up again. To do that. I try to do that in my studio too. I try to do like spring cleaning and summer cleaning where I just go in, spend a day just throwing out like a lot of empty paint cans or dry brushes that I forgot to put on water and they're now useless, and just throw stuff out so that I can remember where things are at and then go and make a mess again, right, for the next few months. Do you like to do spring cleaning?
I like to clean all the time.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
But I feel like seasonally, it's nice to kind of mirror the seasons in our life because it just promotes newness. And so that's really like the end goal, I think, when it comes to spring cleaning, is to enjoy some newness, to give space for whatever is coming. So
excellent. Super. All right. So I have, my friends, 5 things that you can do this week, to start spring cleaning your art marketing. The first one, do an inventory of your social media platforms and do something that perhaps you haven't done in a long time, which is take a look at your stats. In other words, go through Instagram, go to Facebook, not only look at your page, because you should be familiar with that, but take a look at the insights, or statistics, you're going to call it, most of the platforms call it insights. If you click on that insights button on your Instagram, you will be surprised sometimes at what you see. It will tell you who your audience is, when they're more active. It will tell you also which posts are your top posts from the last, year, for example, or the last 3 months or 6 months or the last month or the last week. And I think sometimes it's eye-opening to see which posts have reached more people. Sometimes we think like the best post, that we put out there is going to be awesome. And sometimes when you look at the insights, 3 months later, it's like, oh, actually that did really bad. and this one that I did in 3 seconds, it actually went off the roof. So unless you actually check on the insights, you don't know. So one of the first steps is to do that. Do a quick look at all your social media platforms that you're active on, and take a look at your insights just to see where you're at. You cannot clean up and reorganize if you don't know what you have. So that would be one of the ones that I would recommend. How do you like that one?
I think that's a great one. Something that I apply to my financial life is know your numbers. And so I think that this kind of applies to that as well. Like, know what's going on, because that's just going to help inform your actions after that, which can be really wonderful, because then you feel excited to share because like, oh, this is going to do well, or I have an inkling that this will be successful. And so I think that's a great point.
Absolutely. And that actually leads to the second one, because you talk about action based on what you see, right? Those numbers that you take action. So the second one on your spring cleaning is based on the stats that you see. Decide maybe what type of content you would like to do more of the next, 6 months or so. Let's say, a certain type of video has been doing really well for you and you haven't done one of those in forever because you never took a look at your statistics or your insights. Maybe you say, well, it seems like people kind of responded really well to this type of content. Am I going to plan to do more of? And vice versa. Maybe some type of content that you maybe just spending a lot of time and putting a lot of effort, and when you look at the stats, like, well, hardly anybody's noticing it. Maybe in your mind you think it's great, but the audience doesn't think it's great. So maybe, you can sprinkling that up and give yourself more time for the type of content that your audience seems to be responding the most. And that's something, again, knowing the numbers, you can make those decisions versus just arbitrary think, well, that's really great, just based on likes. Never make decisions just based on how many people like a post, because likes, do not really give the whole picture of the reach, how many people engage with the content, how many followers you may have had for a piece of content, etc. So that's the second one. Basically make some decisions on and focus on the things that are working.
Yeah, that's all solid advice. I am, curious to see what's going on in my social media when the more you talk about this, because I keep having a reel I posted like 2 weeks ago, keep continuing to get likes. And I checked the views and it was like over 3,000 or so. And I was really surprised. And I thought, well, I should be making more of these types of reels and it was something I did really fast. Yes. So it was like,
yeah, usually those
funny?
Usually those are the ones that do well, because we are more natural. We are less kind of restrictive on the material. And because we are more improvised, people can get that and they tend to hook into that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Good point.
So that's a good one. Awesome. And the third thing that you can do for spring cleaning of your ad marketing is check your email list. Once you're done with social media, go over to your maybe MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatever you use for your email list, and maybe do something that you haven't done in a long time, which is delete unsubscribers. Check for those people that have never opened your email, which every email platform will categorize, your audience of that. There are some platforms that, even though some people may unsubscribe, but they actually don't get deleted, and they're just making space there, making your email look like, your open rates are very low. And sometimes it's because you manually have to delete those unsubscribers. There's some people who said, I don't want to read any more of your emails, so why would you have them there? So that would be a great spring cleaning little mini project. Go to MailChimp or wherever you're at and look for those unsubscribers. Get rid of them, because they will never read your emails anyway, or any things that your particular email provider for your e-marketing suggests that you should do for spring cleaning. And most of the platforms will have a suggested list of things to do to keep up your open rates to the maximum for you.
Yeah, I like to review the subject lines, which were the best, most successful ones. Also, the ones that the subscribers engaged with the most and click the links that I provided in the email. That's also gives me a lot of information. This is a great list so far.
Yeah, so far so good, right? So we have taken care of our social media, email list, and then next one is your website. Don't forget about your website. Another one to take a look at. Do you have any broken links? Do you have, it's a good time to go and just click on your links. Like if you think about, if I'm visiting my own website, I'm not myself, I just landed here. Where would I go first? This is still relevant on my links. If I go in my about page, is it something I wrote like 10 years ago, or is it still relevant? Is my CV, do I still have my, my most updated shows and exhibitions at the top, or it looks like I started making art in, 2001. So, you have to kind of keep things up to date, and this is a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking about all the things I need to do on my website. And one of those things may be like hiring a copywriter. So if you are not the best at sharing your story or explaining what it is that you do, don't be afraid to ask for help, because it can really make a huge difference getting your message across to all your visitors. And so that's something that I have learned to definitely lean into, is the help from those experts that can make all my content better.
Exactly. Love that. And then the last one, with this, you kind of close your really nice cleanup for the spring and for your ad marketing, is to organize yourself again. Look at the apps that you use, look at how you're organizing your time when it comes to your marketing, and come up with a plan again to reorganize yourself. If something's taking too much of your time, or you are not enjoying the process anymore, then that's time to shake things up, to reorganize yourself, get on track, and that will help you out. And, I think that I find that to be one of the most important ones, right? To kind of, you have to feel good about the process. You have to enjoy it. Otherwise, it becomes just a task that you will never enjoy. And your audience will kind of catch on that negativity and not really engage with you.
Love it. Those are great tips. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now I've got some more work to do.
Well, this should be fun, quick, easy. Don't spend 3 days on looking at your insights. Something that you can do fairly fast and really quickly see how things are performing on your art marketing. And of course, once you do this and you are all full and ready, I invite you to check out my new challenge, which we start April 11th. It's called From Your Studio to the World, where we actually look at all the different ways in which the art that we create in the studio can live in the world. And it's all many forms and facets, from your email marketing, your social media, shows, exhibitions, NFTs, you name it. Augmented reality, all the different things that you see me doing. I'll take you week by week. Each week we have one specific topic as it relates on how your art can go from your studio into the world. And by then you'll be all nice, all spring clean and ready to take on a new challenge. So that starts April 11th. Check it out on my website, theartistnextlevel.com. And Beth, how can our friends can also connect with you this week?
You guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Beth English. You can check out my website at bethenglish.com. And let me know if you have a question about anything. I love to connect with the viewers, and I'm happy to do so. So slide into my DMs and let me know what's going on in your art world. I'd love to connect. And what about you, Sergio?
Absolutely. Just find me at Sergio Gomez Art. That's where you'll find me just about everywhere. And of course, check out my website, theartistnextlevel.com. Hope to see you there, my friends. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday with another awesome chat that you don't want to miss. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Beth.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.